We're live. Hi. So this is
Hello.
fun. So hi, welcome to my weekly testimonials. I have with me here
EJ.
EJ, and Whitney, and they are so excited to share their story today. Um, Tell us where you're from and where you are, and what is that you do, and what where you were before you start working with me with your kids and yourself.
Okay,
So
I'll
where,
start. Well, we are from Canada, Ontario, and I coined myself the soul brand therapist. So I do brand coaching and brand identity. So from end to end branding type of service. Um, and EJ, it's corporate. And so this one time, what happened was I think I got on a call and I felt pretty shitty after. It was like a sales call. It was like what I call the sleazy sales call. It's basically the process that, some people take on to make me feel like really shit. Um, and I think I've taken on some emotions that I don't quite know how to explain. And the next thing I notice is that um, EJ is like having bad days at work, and my two boys are like fighting with each other. So the whole energy is just off, and I was suggested to seek help, like with energy healing help. And so that's when I saw many people recommend it way. So then I think that's when we connected on Facebook.
right? And back then you were sharing some other story as I'm getting there with your boys as well that you didn't initiate, thought I couldn't do anything. What was some of the thing that you experienced with your boy about his feeding, and what was that all about?
Oh, so like after the first healing that you've done with us, it was just amazing because we all felt it. Everything kind of went back to normal, no more fighting. And so I think it was since then we really experienced the power of your energy healing. And then I think in conversation, I was just telling you, like, with my baby who was 13 months at that point and who hasn't started eating solids. He refused to eat solids. And so I was just getting worried. He was 13 months. And so I think we started talking a little bit on Facebook, and you were telling me, oh, yes, definitely. There's energy blocks and emotional blocks, like from like us as parents or even from past lives. And you were telling me all that. And so we tried a session. And after the session, he started eating.
That was so.
Now he's eating like a champ.
Oh, that's so awesome. I know I was responding to your crazy week last week there because I felt it within you. And share us with that. What was that all about? You were really mad. The kids were crazy. You were telling me they were like wild. And
Gosh.
what
Yeah,
was that like?
I was yelling at them like every single day. They were just so difficult. There's no patience. And so like I was just so irritated. I just couldn't calm down. And so I think you sensed it, didn't you, Wei?
I
That's
felt it, yes. It wasn't usually you. You don't speak like that. You know, you don't use the word F ever. And when I hear that from you, whoa, Whitney, what is going on here? That's why I reached out.
yeah. And so it was great because well maybe EJ can explain a little bit too because he had some changes at work, and so it really, really um, like the energy around that too was so uncertain. So it definitely caused a lot of I don't know. You speak to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, AJ, share with that from your point of view. What was that like after the energy work?
Well, you know what? I would like to talk about a little bit about prior to the energy
Yes,
flow.
please.
Well, the first thing that I noticed is there was a lot of stress, a lot of tension at work, a lot of competing priorities, a lot of things to manage. And the thing about that is it creates a bit of a halo effect. Not only does it affect your professional life, but it also starts to trickle into your personal life and even into your physical health. And so I found that there was definitely an imbalance. There was definitely something that I didn't quite have my typical rhythm. After the energy healing, the most noteworthy change that I could articulate is I was a much more effective decision maker. And what I mean is when your energy is imbalanced, or when you're not in that right frame that you need to be in, when your energy is not, connected in the way that you need it to be, your decision making is disrupted. And I would find that it was almost every little decision was not in harmony with what I feel are my values and principles. After the energy healing, decision making just started to become much more fluid, much more in harmony. More importantly, it was quicker. It was a quicker decision making. It was not as much deliberation as prior to the energy healing. And a lot of that had to do with work. There was as mentioned earlier, a lot of and it's really hard. It's really easy, actually, I should say, to get lost in that kind of scenario. And I just found that there's a lot more clarity, a lot better vision, and more effective and quicker decision making.
And what was it like at home? What did you notice? I
Well,
know Whitney was telling me, oh my God, EJ want to share this with you, and he was so excited with all the changes. What was that all about? Can you share with us what that was like at home?
Definitely. And you know what? And that's kind of the halo effect that, speaking to, is I find that it's not just about being more patient in turbulent situations, but it's also just being in harmony with the family. So the first thing I notice is the boys, as Whitney mentioned, their appetite got better. They were definitely more playful, more jovial. But what I found in this whole halo effect of after the energy healing was their interaction together. I think that they definitely derived something from me and how they interact with me. And then I noticed when they were alone and playing together, there was they were much more emotive. It's funny because now my boys, all of a sudden, or our boys, something that they started doing is they kiss now. Good morning, and they walk over and they kiss. Where did that come from? Now they hug and they kiss, and the older one taps the other one on it. Like, it just started after the energy healing, just out of the blue. I have videos and pictures of them just randomly in the middle of the play, stop, hug, kiss, smile at each other, and then keep playing. And
that's called love energy.
It's definitely a really positive change.
And they're like kind of at the age where they're playing. They're together, but they're not playing together because they're still so young. They're just really playing separately. So it's really funny. They're doing their own thing, essentially, in the same room. And then out of nowhere, they just go and kiss each other.
And that is so sweet. That's so sweet. That's beautiful. So what's your word of wisdom to see all these entrepreneur parents or stressful parents with the kids, and a simple session with me can make a difference? And then what are your advice to them and thoughts?
I'll go, and then
you go.
The first thing that I would say is so Whitney mentioned I work in corporate. I worked in a large organization and have a lot of initiatives and projects. And the one thing that I would say is, whether, for an entrepreneur or somebody who's just trying to balance work and life, really it's just about making the right decision. And it's about making decisions that are aligned with your values and with your principles, and being able to make them quickly, because, not making a decision quick enough is also making a decision. So, being able to make decisions quickly that are in harmony, that will make you a better entrepreneur. It'll make you a better employee if that's what you're doing, and it definitely makes you a better leader, better father, better listener, better husband. So, highly recommended to keep it all in balance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. Like, as an entrepreneur, you do a lot of content creation, right? That's how you talk about your business. And so when your energy is heavy, it's cloudy, like it's harder to get your messages out. And then when I was just irritated, I just couldn't focus. And like when it's just heavy, you just don't feel as good. So like your work is not as good, and your interaction with other people is just isn't as good. So then, once the healing had been done, and in the sense like it's just a little bit more lighter and more creative too, right? So a big, huge difference for business.
Yeah. So yeah, you recommend all corporate and at least, entrepreneurs, they feel off, just get a session with Wei and just clear it out.
Definitely. You'd be surprised with the changes that you'd experience. You just notice it. It just starts to happen and it snowballs. It's like the compound effect. It just starts to get greater and greater and greater and produce more and more results.
Yeah, for sure.
And the beauty of this healing is over Skype, over the phone, and I've connected energetically, and it doesn't matter wherever you're on the planet. So as long as you
yeah, and you're wicked. Wicked. What was it like when you had done just the healing last week? You were saying the emotion that EJ had was from some 5 weeks ago. And so it was easy to remember the time frame because that's exactly, at the work front, there were changes happening around that time. It was bang on.
Yeah, it was 5 weeks to almost a day. It was pretty impressive that you called that out. So, appreciated that because it helped me understand where things started to go off the rails a little bit, and having the energy healing, again, it just allowed me to be able to be much more effective.
Good. I'm glad that's make you a better dad, a better husband, and a better worker, and all rounded. You guys look so much more happier, and then that's just a dream come true for all couples, isn't it?
Indeed.
And my boys are happier too because I don't think I yell at them as much.
Well, that is very important. So when energies are off, that's also affecting. That's why I refuse. I say, have kids. If you have have to check them out as well, or if you have people living with you, I like to check them out as well, because if I don't clear everyone at once, then it just ripple affects everyone else. So that's the beauty of family healing there. Well, I appreciate both of you for coming on today and share your word of wisdom and share your beautiful experience with your happy harmony family. So thank you for tuning in. And if you need to look up Whitney, she's name is Whitney. So she's anything to do with branding. By all means, she's awesome. Check her out. Thank you. I'll put her website on here as well. And thank you. Appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.